I stay doing my thing. I stay doing my thing.
I don't care what y'all do, who y'all screw.
I stay doing my thing.
I don't care what y'all drive, how y'all fly.
I stay doing my thing.
Listen, I do what I do, and I do it like I'm doing it for TV.
Keep my name out your mouth. I'm doing my thing. Fuck these niggas talking about. I stay doing my thing. Don't make me pull them big boys out.
Welcome to the podcast, my brother.
Alright.
Tell the people who you are, basically, and where you from.
Camera or you?
Camera.
Peace, I feel great right now. My name is Jatan. I'm from Baisley Projects. I'm from South Jamaica, Queens.
That's
And I
what
just
it
feel
is.
good. I'm grateful to be here.
That's what it is. I appreciate you for coming
Love,
on the
brother.
podcast, my brother. So tell the people what really transitioned you to sit there and say, you know what, I'm gonna leave the street side alone, because niggas was running around acting like they ain't have no guidance at one point in time. You understand what I'm saying?
It was a lot of things, but one thing that's on my mind and one thing that's on my heart was you see the same cycles over and over, right? Like when you're seeing the same people go to jail, you're seeing the same people die, and you're seeing this kind of effect happen, and it's like it's no escaping it. So the best way to kind of beat the streets or to beat that environment is to fully withdraw. Just get out.
Okay. Talk about fully withdrawing. What made you to the point where it was like, oh, you know what, I'm leaving the streets alone after this, man? Because was it the dying? Was it the your friends
Personally,
going to jail?
because I've never truly accepted being like a street guy.
Okay.
So even though I was always close to it, I always knew I was beyond this, right? And then I started to think eventually everybody becomes a casualty in this field, And for me, it's like I may be the worst type of street person. I'm not hustling. I'm not killing nobody. So I'm just out there, So it was really best for me to transition and move myself as far as possible, not because I disagree with it, just because it's not for me.
Do you feel better about what you've...
Yeah, most definitely, because a lot of us are in the streets just because of lack of knowledge, right? So knowing myself and knowing that not only am I better than the streets, most of us are better than the streets. The reason we choose the streets is just to kind of find a way to make ends meet so that we could fund who we truly want to be. And in that process, a lot of us get caught up and we stay there. The streets is really not for nobody.
So I believe that also. I believe that the streets is really not for nobody, because the streets don't do nothing for you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
And it's different levels in the streets when we speak about the streets, but a lot of us turn to the streets just because we got to make ends eat, right? We have to support our families, we have to make money, and the streets have provided an opportunity to make fast cash. But I think somewhere along the lines of hustling, we got caught up in the trap, right? We were supposed to hustle to transition, but the trap is just remained in there, and eventually you get stuck, you get trapped, and then it's really hard to get out. If you look at a lot of street inspiring people, that either transition to death or transition to jail, and one thing they will always say was just get out.
And I respect you for that, because a lot of people don't see it the way you saw it at your age. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't understand it the way that you understood it. You know what I'm saying? Look at a lot of your friends that came up. You see where they at. A lot of them are in jail. As I can see, a lot of people that you came up with. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of them are doing time. A couple of them are dead. You understand what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So therefore, I see that you put in positive energy out towards, the world, because that's what you get what you put out.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And I've heard you say it on one of your stories one day, what you put out is what you know what I'm saying?
You all what you attract, right? And a lot of times, a lot of the street mentality or the hood mentality is a hustle to death. Like we're hustling to get ourselves in jail. You know, we're hustling to get ourselves a graveyard. You know, and the hustle don't stop. You just have to shift the mindset. You know, I'm still hustling, right? But I'm hustling to live. You know, I'm hustling to promote peace.
Yeah.
I'm hustling to promote wellness, right? Because we can also thrive in a positive light.
Yeah,
you know,
hustling positivity.
Yeah, positivity.
Same thing I'm doing. I like people
Yeah,
ask me to
thing.
do put like bad things on my platform, and I tell them like, yo, I'm not promoting that right there. I'm promoting positive thoughts right now. What you got going on positively that you doing your thing with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Doing your thing ain't just for everybody that's in the streets bugging out, rapping and stuff like that. You're doing your thing positively, then you could come and talk what you got to talk. But I'm not here for the politics and the bullshit, what this person did, what that person did. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So, therefore, that's why I get, like, the feedback that I get on my show.
And that's love, that's genuine. And not only, because we come of age, it comes to a certain time where you must grow up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not only because people are watching, because most of us are fathers.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to father children in a right direction, right? Because your children will pick up the baton where you left it, similar to our parents, right? We pick up where our parents fall short at. So while we're alive, we have to keep promoting doing the right thing, or just going as far as we can to give our children an advantage. If not, then not only do our children suffer, the generation after us suffer, to where, why do so many of us resort to the streets? Because we seen the generation before us do that, So if we can find new avenues and new ways, right? They see doing my thing, it's a podcast, and you making more money in the streets. It's like, oh, let me tap in with Tiff, let me see how I could do that, let me tap in with your tongue with the wellness tip, let me see how we can do that. Then we can change the narrative of things, because it's all on us, and we just have to remove the mask, and really stay focused, stay in the ground, and pursue something better.
Okay, real quick, let's talk about the yoga situation. I see like y'all got into that. What made you like put yoga like a part of your like daily like situation?
Because it was helping me personally, So like when I was opening a cafe and just really trying to stay focused in business, right? It becomes challenging. It's challenging to deal with people. It's challenging to deal with a certain environment. These things are challenging. So I needed something that would channel my inner peace and something that would channel my focus, So just having a consistent daily practice helped me remain calm, helped me remain one with myself, and helped me remain at peace. And just really sharing the tools that can help others cultivate whatever it is they trying to cultivate. We all have different experiences, different visions, and different purposes, but we all need the correct tools because we all resulted to tools that destroyed us. So we need to result to tools that can rebuild us, that can promote love, that can promote positivity, and that can promote truth.
That's what's up. And I see that, like, you got a lot of people following y'all. You got, tell the people what you really basically do. What is the wellness thing about, basically? Like,
so, in the short words, the wellness is basically mental engineering, physical engineering, and mindfulness engineering, so that we can live better, do better, and promote better. Basically, primarily in melanated communities and communities that were at disadvantage to these type of practices.
Okay. Wellness. So, and how long was it that you started that? Like,
I've been doing this for about.
Vaughn, what's up?
Hey, shit, friend. You still in the house?
Yeah, I'm in the house.
Come outside real quick.
I'm doing an interview. Come inside.
I can't. I was gonna tell you I'm gonna pull back up there.
All right.
All right.
All right. Good.
B-roll camera. I got doing my thing.
You know that shit. So the wellness situation was you said it was called what again?
It started off at the Urban Yogis.
Urban
You know, we had partnered with Erica Ford and Life Camp, and we curated a practice, a program that can help us grow, develop mentally, physically, spiritually, you know, so that we can be better and so that we can do better, so that we won't result to the streets.
Okay. And y'all started that when? What year was that?
That was about 2013, 2014.
2013, and y'all been doing that ever since.
Yeah, been doing that for about 11 years now.
Tell people where they can find all of your stuff.
Oh, you can follow me at KINGT on Instagram, KINGJAYTAUN.
Okay, KINGT
Yeah.
on Instagram.
And everything is there.
Okay, the cafe. What inspired y'all to really like get a cafe? I know it's like I know y'all got something more coming up and everything, but like let's think about the cafe.
Just
and
really
stuff like
the
that.
same thing, you know, just being on this block and seeing how we destroy ourselves and how we really need growth. So putting the cafe there, we wanted to put something healthy. We wanted to put something that can inspire the people, something that can promote the people to grow, you know, to live better and to do better, you know, because it's possible. A lot of times we don't inspire to achieve something because we don't see it. We don't see ourselves being it, you know, and if you can't visualize what you want to do or what you want to see, it can never be done. So the first thing, it have to happen in the mind.
Okay. Tell us about self-control and discipline within the mind. Tell the people how important it is with self-discipline, because it takes a lot to do what you do with what you're doing. Like,
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's really life or death, right? Because of so much of how we operate and so much of how we're programmed is operating off of impulse. Our impulse, our brain function, our body is all connected to our past experience. So if we further operate this way, then we will always act how we act yesterday. So if somebody says something that you dislike, rather than taking a pause and really having self-control, you act based off impulse, based off how the last person said something that you dislike. And when we don't have this self-control or this self-awareness or this emotional management, we end up in different circumstances, sometime in prison, sometime in death, you know, at the extreme, you know, because if we look at the prison system, why is the prison system filled? Off of impulse reaction.
Impulse reaction, bad decisions.
Bad decisions. People didn't think consciously about what they did. A lot of times when we try to think, it's too late. When we get in front of the judge, then now you try to weigh you want to weigh your options, and now you want to weigh your emotions, and now you starting to regret what you did, because now you know you have a lot of time to think about it. So before we do certain things, we should always slow ourselves down, you know, so that we have emotional control, we have mental awareness, we have self-evaluation, you know, so that we won't react a certain way. So now we can respond. So if you say something I dislike, rather than reacting, you know, I could give myself time to respond and be like, oh, he just speaking about himself. He really don't know me like that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And this can save lives, and this also can save freedom.
That's dope.
You know, and just through the breath, you know, just taking a deep breath, you know, like what happens when you take a deep inhale and you take a deep exhale. You can kind of bring calm and peace to yourself. And when we have calm and peace, we have clarity on decision making.
That's dope. Once you got clarity and peace on decision making, and people don't understand about that. Life is better when you laughing. Life is better when you at peace.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really wants to be going through drama and bad situations, bad decisions. But I mean, I understand it comes. You understand what I'm saying?
And we have to maneuver certain circumstances, right? Whether good or bad, right or wrong, indifferent or different, we have to be mindful so that we can make the best decision. it doesn't matter if the circumstances is bad or not. We have to be mindful even when we're in certain environments, right? You need certain thinking mobility skills in certain environments to survive. So even if you're not ready to remove yourself from the streets, right? You still need thinking and mindful skills, right? Because you see why a lot of people get hurt, or you see why certain things happen because impulse. You say things you don't mean.
Yeah.
You do things you don't mean. And what happens is we can control our choices. We can't control the consequences. And so many people want to control the consequences, but the consequences come after the choice.
After the choice, yeah.
So you have to just make better choices. You have to make better choices for yourself. You have to make better choices for your family. You have to make better choices for your community, right? Because that changes the environment, right? Like, even you don't know how much of a great choice this is for you, right? Just transitioning from the lifestyle you was before, the lifestyle you was accustomed to really step out of that and say, like, let me give myself a shot at doing something positive.
Because like I said, like I couldn't do it no more. Like 3 state bids, come on, man. Like, I'm a fool if I keep putting myself in that predicament. Like, you know what I'm saying? Going back and forth for what?
And that's grateful. You got to thank God, right? Like, you did 3 state bids.
3.
Some people on 1 that lights out.
Lights out.
So it's like, okay, it's purpose for me out here, because why am I keep getting my freedom?
Why do I keep getting
a second chance
to
keep going, to keep growing, because it's faith in you. And a lot of times we don't take advantage of that, to do right, and we look at it as squarish, right? Like, we always look at the person that's living the right lifestyle as the square, and the person that's living wrong and fast as the idol. But that's all programming. That's all controlling. Because the one that's living wrong know he's living wrong. Yeah. And when you know you're living wrong, you know your time is coming. But when you living right, you good. You at peace. You in love, because everything gonna work itself out.
It's gonna work itself out, yeah.
You're not, I don't know if they gonna kick the door.
Yeah.
I don't know if they coming, It's like, I'm gonna do what's right, and I'm gonna make it happen. And I'm gonna give myself a chance.
And that's dope. A lot of people don't give themselves that opportunity and give themselves that chance. Glad I did give myself that chance. I'm glad you made a transition and gave yourself that chance, because you could have been like, a nigga that was out here just not caring. You understand what I'm saying?
Reckless, living reckless, and that comes with a price. It comes with a price, and the beautiful thing that I take away from the environments is that you get to learn, you get to see, right? The beautifulest thing about coming from projects and coming from the hood is that you get to see what your future may be like before your future's there. So if you keep going down this same path, this would happen, and I think that's a gift that I have, is really learning from other people's experiences. Just learning, okay, so-and-so did this. I don't need to do this, because we know what this leads to. Let me give myself a shot at this, because this opens the door for more people. This opens the door for a better conversation, a better life, a better way.
That's what it is. I mean, I want to go on, like, one of those runs with y'all. Like, because I see y'all really, like, getting yourselves in shape, getting everything. Like, I want to run with the community one day, because, I be running, I be drinking, I be, what I'm saying?
You gotta detox, you gotta get the body right.
Yeah, I gotta get it, like, what I'm saying? I work out, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Like, you understand what I'm saying? But I really want to catch a detox. I really want to, like, get right, and get more focused than what I am. Like,
all of that is a part of the mission, a part of the program, just eating better, doing better, living better, and running is a great tool, because it organizes the mind, it organizes the mentality. And it's been a way, right? Because even though we're positive, right, we still feel anger. We still feel frustration. We still feel resentment, guilt, greed, or whatever these things is. So what happens is, if I go on a long run, I'm able to release that frustration. So if we don't have these tools to connect with ourselves, to know, like, oh, I'm frustrated, I need to go on a run, I may bump into you outside and basically I'm frustrated. Now we may get into something.
Mm.
And now the frustration leaves me, but the circumstance is still here.
But if you was running,
you was able to release that frustration.
yo, and not to cut you off, but when I was up north, that's what kept me out of a lot of trouble. When I got to the yard and stuff like that, I would run. You understand what I'm saying? Around the yard, because if you get into what's going on in the middle of that yard, then you'll be really like, you know what I'm saying, trapped into that shit. Like, you understand what I'm saying? My whole focus was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna make sure I get on that phone, and then I'm gonna be out here exercising, because I'm not a gang member. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not down with what everybody's down with, so I'm not down with the politics. I don't gotta spend with niggas to, like, you know what I'm saying?
So it's not your business, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not your business.
It's none of my business. So what I gotta do when I get out here, I'm treating this whole shit like I'm in training. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Every time I hit the yard, I'm running. You understand what I'm saying? Running. And it makes time go past too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's a good thing, right? And that was an attribute of self-awareness for yourself, to know that, like, man, I'm not in the gangs. I don't need to be caught up in this politics about this, because this comes with something.
Yeah.
And even I also teach in juvenile centers, and I'm telling the youngins to use this time really to get your mind right, you know, focus up, right? Because you're in a good time, even though you may be somewhat incarcerated, you're not worried about a op. You're not really focused on having to buy anything, do anything. The only thing you can do is your time and really build your mindset so that you can avoid these circumstances and situations, you know, because we get caught up. We start to entertain conversations. We start to entertain people. We start to entertain things that doesn't go with our self-development. And anything that doesn't go with our self-development caters to our self-destruction. And when we start to destroy ourselves, we start to destroy the people and things around us.
Yo, I sat down, right, with a person who was convicted of a murder and everything, right? And when he came home, he told me, he said, yo, I wish I would have never did that. Like, you understand what I'm saying? After the time that he did and what he did it, like, he said he wish he would have never committed the crime that he did, because he took away from his life and the person's life, like, and the family and everything. He apologized to the family and everything because it was an accident or whatever the case would be, but he still, like, you know what I'm saying, wish that he never did that. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And he changed his life. He done wrote books, all of that and everything. But he just, what I say that to say this is that's like, he didn't want to do that when he was younger. You understand what I'm saying? It just triggered him off to do something, and then it happened.
Lack of self-control, lack of knowledge of self, lack of awareness. You know, all of these things that's happening to us, right? Because we take on the character more than who we are, right? Most of us are trying to defend the character, the image, right? We have to shed the character, we have to shed the image, and we have to get to our true nature, right? Because when we become one with ourselves, you know, we're not murderers, we're builders, we're creators, we're peaceful. Due to our circumstance, we pick up this aggression, we pick up this mindset, we pick up these mentalities, you know, and then we operate and act on them based on environment. You know, if anybody really have the chance to choose, they won't really choose this life.
Big shout out to Erica Ford, the Life Camp, and everybody too.
Most definitely,
like, peace. You know what I'm saying? I see that y'all really like put that foundation together. Well, she put that foundation together and everything, and she really worked the community with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just really being there.
Yeah, like
just really being hands-on, being in the field, and being understanding and really trying to give different avenues and opportunities to try to break away. Basically, break as many away as she can to only get them to rebuild themselves and then rebuild others.
Because I see that, like, since she did it, like, you know, she's taken people, the kids from the community on trips alone. Like, that alone brings people together, and people don't understand that. Like, you understand what I'm saying? That's something that the government, a lot of people didn't want for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't really want us to come together and really stick together and be cool with each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? So by all of that coming together, that's us knowing each other. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And that's us being cool with each other and shit like that. So I fuck with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? At all given times.
That's a powerful thing you mentioned, right? Because when we unite, we become builders. You know, we become creators. You know, it's a lot of money being made based on our destruction.
Yes.
Because where would they sell this food at? How would these prison systems get filled?
Yeah.
You know, so we can't help you if we're creating everything to keep you there.
Yeah, I didn't understand it until I was in there, and I'm sitting there like, yo, they making too much money off of us, man.
Right.
And I can't really, like...
You become the lick.
You the cattle. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not gonna put myself in that position no more for me to be in here no more. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm being treated like an animal, and I don't need to be taught. I don't need to be told what to do.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't need for nobody to tell me when I gotta use the bathroom. I don't need for nobody to tell me when I can motherfucking eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat
makes
dinner.
You feel
like,
less of a man, and it makes you. It almost demasculizes you.
Yes,
like, it makes you feel
like
so
a child.
low.
Like like
it
low.
makes you feel little, and that's why we have to promote a better way when we have freedom, when we have knowledge of self. You know, because you experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
No more children need to experience it.
Exactly.
And the key is we can do good and live righteously. You know, it's easy. It's easy. Matter of fact, it's not easy. It's challenging. The correct words is it's possible. We don't always have to resort to the streets. We can build business, you know.
I heard you had like a book, something like you was doing or something like that.
Yeah, how you heard that? Yeah. I'm working on a book.
Okay.
I'm working on a book. It's pretty much finished, you know. I'm just focusing on a release date, and it was just a lot of information I've gained on the way through my life to just really help others, inspire others, you know, put it in words, put it in formats. I use real live journals, you know, I use real live concepts so that I really believe in the people. You know, I believe in myself, I know myself, and I know we can do better, you know. So this is why I post it every day. This is why I'm on it every day, because I've been in the projects, you know, I've wasted time. I understand that world will always crash. When you know yourself and you truly believe in yourself, there's no limit. You know, we can grow as big as possible, you know, and it's possible. That's the key. It's possible. We can do it. We don't have to feel small. We don't have to live a certain life. We don't have to be validated. All it takes is for us to know within ourselves. Like you said, we don't need many people. We don't need many things operate. We press start, and we get it done, and we package it. You know, and people are gonna feel that. People are gonna connect to that because it's real, it's organic, and then you're gonna feel the love when you're truly being yourself. You're gonna feel it. People are gonna see you outside, and they're gonna be inspired. They're gonna send you DMs. Yeah. You know, because
they do it now. Like,
we want a better way. We're tired. We're tired of, like, even when you see it, we're tired of living the same. It's haunting us.
Yo, the way that I see it, like, and not to like sit there and put it out there like that, but the way that it just is designed, it's designed like jail. Like, the way that the projects is designed, if you look at it, it's like everybody's in their houses and then the yard is right here. You understand what I'm saying? You come out, you got the motherfucking liquor store right there. Right. That's commissary. You understand what I'm saying? And laundromat, you wash your clothes, you go right back right into the thing. Like, you understand what I'm saying? To where these other complexes where you go into, nigga, they got pools, they got, you understand what I'm saying?
They got flowers, they got lives, they got trees, they got fresh air, green grass, they got life. You understand? So the dynamics of how this thing was built
and designed,
design was ultimately for self-destruction.
Yeah, like,
so
it's just,
it really takes control, self-control to say, I want out of this.
Just look at the grass right there. That could be even right there on the other side by the co-ops, between the co-ops and the project. That could be a big pool just for the neighborhood.
Right.
Like
That's enough space to
That's
put
enough-
some resources, to
Like-
put something that can develop. But again, it's not on them. It's on
that
us.
brings more people together. That brings
Right.
like, you understand what I'm saying? That
It's on us. It's on us, and when I say it's on us, it's for people that know. When you know better, it is a duty that you have to do better.